Hey, this is Jeff Nelson. I'm a realtor here in Baldwin County in Spanish Fort. Today, not doing a video on real estate. I'm highlighting fun things to do in Spanish Fort. And Spanish Fort is actually one of the, is the smallest city in the county. There's some smaller towns, but so far as cities go, they have a fairly small geographical footprint and a population of only about 9,000 people. But man, there is a ton to do here, especially for the family. So I wanted to hit on those things. I gathered about 9 or 10 different things to do here in Spanish Fort for the family, for everybody to do. And I want to start out with that the city of Spanish Fort maintains 3 parks. One is Spirit Park, which is located off of 31. It's kind of hard to see. It's kind of it's off the beaten path, but it's there's a little sign there. But once you get back in there, you're going to find tennis courts and baseball fields, and there's a gazebo in there, restrooms, that type of thing. But it's really well done and maintained. Spirit Park, check that one out. And then down Jimmy Faulkner Boulevard, or Jimmy Faulkner Road, there is Integrity Park. Now Integrity Park is just a big wide open space with soccer fields and baseball fields, a huge green space, like if you want to do frisbee or run your dog or that type of thing. But Integrity Park, that's maintained by the city. And then right behind me is Kids Park. They used to call it the Fort, but it's Kids Park. This is off of Ember Lane. And you can see there's 2 gazebos. You can actually rent those out for parties. And then, for the smaller kids, there's, you see the jungle gym type bars and swings and things like that for the little ones. Something similar to this is over at the Spanish Fort Town Center, where they have on the back side of, this is where Bass Pro is, but on the back side of that shopping center is where the Fort Container Park is. There is another big area for the kids, and this has, it's really well done. The gazebo area is huge and covered, and great place for the parents to sit while their kids play. But got a lot to do today, a lot to show you, so let's keep going with it. One of Spanish Fort's gyms, it's not a hidden gym, a lot of people know about it, but one of Spanish Fort's biggest gyms is Blakely State Park. This place is incredible. The funny thing is I live about 15 minutes from here, and or even less. And I've been here quite a few times, hiking and biking and that type of thing, but I haven't been here in a while, a few years. And got this right in my own backyard. But anyway, what a family fun thing to do in Spanish Fort is Blakely State Park. The whole park, it's 2,000 acres. 2,000 acres. It's rich in history. Civil War was fought here. I'm not huge on history. I'm not a history buff, but I know a part of the Civil War was fought here. Rich in history. It's evident throughout the park. It is so diverse, as you'll see from some of these clips, in nature. And I couldn't have picked a better day. It's the middle of April in 2023 right now, and it is, I don't know, maybe 77 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. It is gorgeous out here. Looking around for alligators and snakes, but anyway, such a awesome place. There are 20 miles of trails. So whether it's a mountain bike, if you want to hike, you can even bring your horse back into the park and ride the trails. There's places for RVs if you want to do that, if you want to camp that way. You can also do primitive camping, and you also have you have like little cabin type things here as well. Just a ton to do here, a ton to explore, a great place to bring the kids. So check it out, folks. Blakely State Park, 2,000 acres, 20 miles of trails. I meant to also say that the park opens up on the backside of it to the Mobile Tensas Delta. And another activity that you can do that would be great for the whole family is this pontoon boat behind me. Well, you can take trips out onto the Delta and maybe catch a glimpse of a gator or 5. And just another great family thing to do, along with camping and hiking and biking and all that type of stuff, and just enjoying it. I mean, just being out here is, I almost don't want to leave. I tell you, Spanish Fort is steeped in rich nature, especially when it comes to things to do for the whole family. Here I am at another park in Spanish Fort, where the Mobile, Spanish, Tensas, Apalachee, and Blakely rivers meet. We have the 5 Rivers Delta and Resource Center, and this is off of the causeway, not too far from 31, maybe a couple miles going west towards Mobile on the causeway. But man, it's not a huge park, but there are trails. Great place to go picnicking, and the boat launch. There's places for to launch your boat or your kayak. They also do boat tours, and they have a huge resource center that's really educational for the most part, and it's where you can learn about all about the nature, wildlife of the Delta, which is thousands and thousands of acres of rich wetland area in Lower Alabama between Mobile and Spanish Fort. But anyway, great place, right off the causeway, and it's pretty inexpensive, and there's a lot to do here for the whole family. 5 Rivers Delta. Right across the street from 5 Rivers, directly across the street, is the driveway to yet another wonderful park and great place to go for the whole family in Spanish Fort, and that's Mare State Park. This park is 1,372 acres. Really special. I did a whole video on this one. If you go back onto my playlist, I got a whole video just on the park itself. But man, it's wonderful. 1,372 acres. You can fish. There's hiking. There's two trails there. One of the neat features that you really can't find too many places, they have a 300-foot pier that goes out into the bay, and at the end of that pier is a 200-foot tee. So you talk about fishing, our waters are already teeming with fish anyway, but man, what a great place to throw a line in and see what you come up with. But a lot of big camping area. There's 61 RV sites. There's 10 tent sites that are modernized, and there are 4 cabins at the very end of the road. When you go in there, they've got 4 cabins that are right next to each other, and they are right on the water. So what a neat place to stay if you want to be all around nature. But I just love where I live. There's so much to do. I love nature, and what a beautiful day to do this video. So you can't talk about fun things to do in Spanish Fort without mentioning our bowling alley. Man, I haven't been in here in a few years either, mainly because my feet hurt. But Eastern Shore Lanes is on the back side of the Eastern Shore Center, which y'all hear me talk about all the time. But it's a feeder road. There's a road that goes around the Eastern Shore Center. And over here you have Publix, grocery store, right over there. And the Eastern Shore Lanes bowling alley. I'm gonna tell you, man, I just walked in there, took some clips, took some videos. They have amped it up since I was in there last. Of course, it's been around here for a long time, years, at least 12 years, because that's how long I've been here, 13 years in Spanish Fort. But man, it's got a big, huge bar. I don't drink anymore, but it's got a big, huge bar, if you're into that, and a grill. They have outdoor seating that seats quite a bit. It's covered and it's very nice. I'm staring at it right now. It's a big truck in the way, so I can't see how many seats, but it's a lot, I can tell. Big arcade, fancy arcade machines too. Not just, you know, old dilapidated arcade machines. These are fancy, as you can see. Above the arcade is a rope walk course that you're literally above, walking 4 or 5 feet above the arcade. I thought that was pretty cool. They have laser tag. Last time I was here, I played laser tag. And seems like I'm missing some. Oh, then they got a room in the back with some, I think four nice pool tables. So what a great place to enjoy, have some fun and enjoy the family with. Eastern Shore Lanes in Spanish Fort. So I'm going to wind this video up. I hope you have enjoyed it, but I'm going to wind it up with two of the coolest places for fun places to go, fun things to do in Spanish Fort. And they happen to be right next to each other. That is Tortuga Adventure Golf and Humdinger's Sports Lounge and Gaming Company. Right next door to each other on the Eastern Shore Center. So let's get you some more detail on these two awesome places. Tortuga, man, this has got to be the coolest, in my opinion, thing to do for the family. It is so neat. I went in there on a weekday right when they opened, and so it was empty, except for, I'm not sure if he was the owner. I got the feeling he was the owner. If not, he runs the place for sure. But he was kind enough to let me walk through and take these clips. Tortuga is an 18-hole indoor mini golf course. Indoor, that's awesome in itself. So no matter what time of year, you know, it gets pretty freezing cold in the wintertime in lower Alabama, but there's still days that are chilly or might be raining. So having an indoor mini golf course is pretty awesome. But place is 4,000 square feet, and it is so cool. It's good. It's glow in the dark, and it's a Pirate Caribbean 3D theme going on in there. So as you can see by these clips, it is so cool, and y'all should check it out. They are open. They're closed on Mondays, but they're open every other day from 12 to 7. And on Friday and Saturday from 12 to 8. Check this place out, Tortuga Adventure Golf inside the Eastern Shore Center. All right, Humdinger Sports Lounge and Gaming Company. I'm so glad we have a place like this right in our own backyard here in Spanish Fort. I also went in there early in the day, so it was nobody there. Went in there early on a weekday. So, but what an awesome addition. Well, they've been here for several years, but what an awesome addition to Spanish Fort. This place is huge. Well over 4,000 square feet, I would imagine. But, you know, their big thing is is virtual reality. They got a virtual reality lounge and bunch of different screens. Anyway, it's really cool. They've got TVs all the way around, big, huge TVs, like 72 inch. And I think they got like maybe 20 of them. There's a lot. They are even making the place even better. They got a couple pool tables as well. But they're making the place even better. They're adding a sports bar in the back. They're going to have, you know, a full bar menu as well as a restaurant. I think you can get there. I think you can get food there now, but they're adding a bar in the back. But another cool thing that I have never seen before is that they are building cages, long rectangular cages where you can play duck pin bowling. You can use those cages for cornhole. There's something called football bowling that I've never heard of before. And you can play bocce ball in there. So the cages you can rent out, I forget the price, but just call them up, check it out. But you can rent it out per cage instead of per person. And I think you can have up to, I don't know, 4 or 8 people, something like that. I think it's 8 people. Anyway, you got to call them to get the correct number. But you can rent them out for, you know, when you divide it by the number of people that can utilize a cage, I mean, it's very cost effective. But fun things to do in Spanish Fort, man, I'm staring at 2 of them right here, right in front of me. And there is so much to do in Spanish Fort. Okay, I'm sorry, but I got one more I'm gonna throw in. I debated whether to do this or not because it's actually technically in Mobile, but it seems hard to not mention the USS Alabama, which is a big battleship on the causeway, and it's right on the outskirts of Spanish Fort. I mean, the city line is pretty much right there, and everybody, when they think of the causeway, they think of Spanish Fort. So, but this is absolutely a family fun thing to do. Go check out the battleship. You can walk around, and they've got all kinds of things too. They've got aircraft and tanks and artillery. Big memorial park, huge area. Right on the water there, of course, of Mobile Bay. But I think you'll enjoy it. Everybody, I hope you have got something out of this video. I am a realtor. If you're looking to buy or sell in this area, if you want to move to Spanish Fort, give me a ring. I'd love to help you and work with you. Talk to you soon and see you on the next one. Now I'm going to go do my favorite thing, and that is go into Barnes & Noble and get me some coffee and look at art books.